It is April 8th or 9th, somewhere along those dates, and I am slowly prepping for my seedling sale, my first ever seedling sale. And today I figured I would just finish doing some things and talk to you about a couple of things that I am considering. I have had a lot of questions from you guys asking me about containers, pricing, dates, all of that. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about that and show you some of my beautiful, beautiful plants. One of the last things that I have been doing when I have my plants in their final size, in their final container, is that I am applying the name tags. And I got these tags. These are pretty long and kind of extra wide, which is nice because I can write on them. I got them from Amazon and they're going to work great. They're going to work great. Every single plant that I am selling, whether it's in a big container or in a small container, is going to have one of these tags with the name. And that's kind of how I am doing everything here right now. All of these trays here, all of these gorgeous coleus, I have 3 different varieties. We saw this together in a video. Well, I did. You guys watch. We did this together, and my goodness, these plants never disappoint. Coleus just does great. It's a little bit slow to grow, but it always performs amazing. My goodness, look at these sizes, these guys. Look at that. Look at that coleus. This one is chocolate mint, and it's just beautiful. I love how it has that lining at the end. I have grown this before and it's amazing. You can put it in full sun. It handles the sun well. I do have my favorite here, which is Mighty Mosaic. This one is just, oh my gosh. The texture, the colors is just gorgeous. This one is my favorite. I think by far it's my favorite coleus right now. But one that I am growing new this year, these guys. This is a Lime Delight, and it's a beautiful, I call it baby green color. It's just like a nice green color. Look at that. That is just intense. So all of these trays, these whole trays, one of each. I think that I made it so that I have 1 tray of each variety, and I'm going to apply this really quick. One of the great things about tagging coleus is that I don't have to worry really about mixing up the varieties. The good thing about this is that I know which variety this is. I am not going to confuse Lime Delight with chocolate mint or vice versa. And while many people pinch their coleus in the seedling form, I really don't have to. These guys are just growing so amazingly well that I don't really have to pinch. They are branching amazingly. So first, let's talk about containers. What kind of containers am I going to be using for selling my plants, for using for the sale? And when it came to deciding which containers to use, the answer was simple for me. I wanted to use something that was both aesthetic and functional, but also I wanted to add value. I didn't want to bring something that a person will have to just throw away right after planting their own plants in their own gardens. I wanted to choose something that added value to the plant that they were purchasing from me. And I decided to use these beautiful, beautiful containers, and I love them. I use them myself, and deciding to go with them was a really no-brainer. When I envision or when I picture somebody purchasing, let's just say this coleus plant from me, I picture somebody bringing this home and feeling like they got something of value and something that they can reuse if they choose to, or something that they can give to one of their friends who starts plants from seed. It's really as simple as that when it comes to choosing the containers for these plants, really. And I know that a lot of you are wondering, or were wondering, had that question about what kind of containers I was going to use. And some of you wonder if using these containers were going to be, were going to make my plants too expensive, or was going to make my cost too expensive. But honestly, I did the math, and if I buy things in bulk, they come really, really close to the same price that I will get something cheap, like some of the cheap containers from Amazon. So for me, really, it just makes sense. To me, it just makes sense to use, this is not it. To me, it just makes sense to use these high quality containers, because why wouldn't I? Why won't I use this? And yes, there are a lot of people that are going to be purchasing these plants from me, and they're going to have no clue that, you know, they can reuse these containers. Because what a lot of people do, and I did this when I started, I will purchase my plants and I will just trash the containers, because I didn't start from seed and I didn't know that I could reuse those. But I personally felt better selling something like this, selling these coleus plants in a container like this. Something that a person can reuse for growing something else or gifting to another person, versus having to, you know, get one of those super flimsy containers that you use once and then you have to throw away because they break super easily. So that is my reason why I am using these containers. If you started doing your own sale, or if you're thinking about doing your own sale, you have to take these things into consideration. If buying super cheap one-time usage containers for your seedlings makes sense for you, then that's what you need to do. For me, for my sale, this is going to be the foundation. This is my first year, and this is really what makes me comfortable doing. This is really okay. This is what I'm happy selling. Okay, all of the coleus are done. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a lot of coleus. Hopefully people show up to the sale. Let me show you another tray. I already put the name tags on these guys, but let me just show you. When I started planning for this seedling sale, I really wanted to, you know, to make it something different, a different experience. And choosing the right containers, choosing some unique plants was definitely key. You know, getting really high quality soil was definitely a plus for me. But also I had this idea in my mind that I wanted to use colors for, especially for pricing. So in my mind, I was going to have just one size for everything. I was going to have these single green 2.5-inch containers where I was going to sell everything in this size. It didn't work out that way. Why? One, the plants grow at their own rhythm. I cannot will a plant to slow down or to go a little bit faster when it comes to growing. It just happens that way every year. I can be growing something for 6 years in a row. I can start them at the same time, and 1 year they're just going to slow down completely, or they're just going to take off. And that was the case, unfortunately, this year for me. Fortunately and unfortunately. I changed mediums, as many of you know. I changed the type of potting mix that I was growing my things, and it turned out to be a great thing, a really good thing. And some things just went quick as far as growing. Here is a jalapeno pepper that I had to restart. I had to restart my jalapenos towards the end of March, because the ones that I started towards the end of February, I mean, those things were just taken off. And I was not going to be selling jalapeno peppers in 1 gallon containers. There's just no way. This is the size, this is the perfect size for me to sell them. So I had to start over for this. I had to just kind of go with the flow when it came to growing my seedlings for the sale. And that is perfectly okay. So while I am not going to have everything grown in one single size as I had hoped for, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to have 3 different sizes, really. I am going to have this size, which I am hoping is going to be one sale throughout the entire variety of plants. I am going to have this other size, which is the blue color. These are the 4-inch containers, I believe. These are 2.5. So these are bigger plants, and I only have 2 types of plants. I have coleus and I have Verbena bonariensis in this size. So these are really the only 2 plants that I will have in this color and in this size. So it will be easy for me to price these 2 because these are unique. You cannot find Verbena bonariensis here locally. And look at this size. So this is perfect. And really, while it sucked that I couldn't get everything in one size for one entire color, it's going to be okay. In my head, I was going to have everything be just one single price. But like I said, the plants grow at their own pace and I cannot control it. I cannot just have these coleus in this size for 1.5 months and expect them to do okay, expect them to thrive. So I am just going with the flow when it comes with the plants and waiting at the last minute, not the last minute, but waiting at the last couple of weeks before the sale to put everything up in their final containers has been key for me. And being the first year that I'm doing this, I'm taking a lot of notes. I'm taking a lot of notes on what day I did what, so that next year I can tweak my times a little bit and hopefully have better looking plants. I mean, the plants are already looking amazing. And I'm really, really happy with how everything is growing. Now, if you're wondering if I am going to keep some of these plants for myself, I already have a whole area for plants that are for my garden. I actually ended up using not 1, but 2 entire shelving units for plants just for the seedling. And I do have one whole shelving unit that is just for my own garden. Those are not going to be sold. Let me show you a couple of those things. I have a few of these coleus. Look at that. These are bigger sizes because I started these guys about a couple of weeks earlier than the ones that I did for the seedling sale. Look at those. These are huge and they look beautiful and they look amazing. I only kept 2 varieties for myself. I kept a few of the Mighty Mosaic and a few of the Lime Delight. And I did not keep any of the Mountain Mint. I think that's going to be really popular for the sale, and I already have plenty of these for myself. So if I do happen to have some extra of the Mountain Mint, I'll just save them for myself, no big deal. But these guys, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. 2 weeks difference, just 2 weeks difference from these guys to this. Look at that. I mean, it's amazing. To me, it's just amazing. And if I show you everything, this video is going to be 2 hours long. I mean, I have plenty of things. I do have plenty of cosmos. I definitely kept a few of each variety of these cosmos. And if you guys want to check how I started all of these coleus and cosmos for my seedling sale, it was super easy. I started with quality seeds with some quality potting mix. The seeds came from Pine Tree Garden Seeds, and they are the one sponsoring this video. Gorgeous. If you haven't heard of them, they're definitely worth checking out. I really like them because they have a fantastic selection of high quality seeds. I mean, just look at this amazing proof that I have here. They are located in Maine, here in the USA, and their website is full of information. It is super easy to navigate, and you can find tons of information to help you make the best decision on what seeds to get. Plus, their seed packets come with all of the information that you need to sow the seeds, if you need to cover them, if you need to provide some darkness, so you're never left guessing about how to grow anything. They are a small family-owned business that truly cares about their product, and they have amazing customer service. If you're looking for reliable seeds that you can trust, this is a great place to start. Another thing that I am doing for this sale is that I am making a bunch of these information cards, and these are mainly to keep next to the plants that I am selling. For every variety that I have, for every type of plant that I have for sale at this seedling sale, I'm making one of these. For example, I am making one with a picture of my Kilimanjaro marigolds, and I am mentioning there that they are a double white creamy bloom, that the plants will need staking, that they need full sun, so that people that have no idea what a Kilimanjaro marigold is, they can easily look at this and decide if they want to bring it or if they want to purchase one. And the same thing for all of my tomatoes, all of my vegetables, really every single plant that I have, I am going to be adding something like this for information. And I know for a fact there are going to be people asking me about these plants, and especially people who have never grown these plants are going to have a lot of questions for me, and that's completely okay. But hopefully these information cards, which I still have to laminate, hopefully they will help me into, getting people going through the sale. I don't expect tons of people to show to the sale, but if I have a lot of people coming at once that have a lot of questions, hopefully these guys can help me to ease, the waiting time for people to decide if they want to purchase that plant. And I made these guys on Canva. If you guys are not using Canva, just check it out online. It's a great graphic design type of software. And I have these saved, and I'm going to laminate these. So if next year I decide to grow Kilimanjaro marigolds again because they sold really well, then I already have the information so that I don't have to make a new one. And that's why I'm going to laminate all of them. And I actually gotta do that soon before I run out of time. But the idea is that I wanna make this information card so that I can reuse them year after years. And if I have something like maybe the type of cosmos that I grew didn't really, it wasn't really a popular one, then maybe I'll just get rid of one, and that's fine. But if I have all of the varieties of cosmos that I am selling now really well, then I already have that here. So I have been watching a lot of videos of other people that do seedling sales, and they all have some sort of information next to the plants. And I think it's just understandable. If I put myself in the place of people buying the plants, I will definitely want to have something like this for, I don't know, orange jazz tomato, telling me how big it is, how big the tomatoes grow, and all of that information. So it's always helpful to have these things, I think, for the sale. Now let's talk pricing, because using quality containers, using quality seeds, and using quality potting mix to grow these things, it makes for really healthy and amazing plants, if I say so myself. And I have been doing a lot of research on pricing. I have been checking the past sales that have been done in my area. I have been checking what kind of containers they use, how big the plants are, what kind of varieties they are selling. And it has been a lot. I have been doing a lot of work researching that. And I do want to keep things fair, both for my customers, the people that purchase these plants, but also for myself. There is so much work that goes into growing these seedlings: time, care, resources, and of course all the hard work that I put into making sure that they are healthy and at the right size at the right time. But at the same time, I really want to make sure that this is something accessible for a lot of people. So I am doing my best. I am still working on the pricing, to be honest. I am doing my best. I'm trying to keep things affordable for people, but also that at the end, I don't lose any money on selling the plants. Oh my gosh, it's getting so dark outside. I think it's going to storm today again. So much rain. So I also really need to mention that this is my first time. If you didn't catch that at the beginning, this is my first time doing this seedling sale. I am not an experienced gardener selling the seedlings. I am somewhat okay growing the seedlings, but when it comes to selling, I am definitely new to this. And another thing that I have learned as far as getting ready for this sale is that I do have to take notes. I do have to make sure to document dates when I start things, what varieties are doing better than others. I have one tomato variety that is not looking the best. I know for a fact that once I plant it outside, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great producer of tomatoes. But if I look at it now, if I don't know anything about tomatoes or growing that type of heirloom tomatoes, it's it's going to look horrible for somebody buying it at the sale. So I have to take those things into consideration next year when I do the sale. More than likely, a couple of tomato varieties that I am selling this year will not make it for next year. But we'll see how all of them do at the end. And also another thing that I am realizing this year hard is that I can make all the plants. I can write down on paper what size, what color, how big the plants are going to be when the sale happens. But at the end of the day, the plants are going to grow at their own pace, and I just have to go with the flow. I have to be able to get out of my comfort zone and get things into bigger containers and be able to purchase more trays, because I don't have enough trays to carry all of this in and out. But I also gotta make sure that the plants are healthy, that I am not, that I don't have anything that is root bound because it has been in a container for weeks and weeks before the sale. So all of those things are or have been really, really great for me this year, because even though it's my first year, even though I have experience growing the plants, it's just a whole different thing to sell these things locally. So in a way, it's just kind of like my first year of starting seeds. I want to try and see how things work, how things develop, see how I like the process. So far, there was one day last week when I had to put up most of these things into their final size, where I thought, what am I doing? This is taking me so much time. Like, why am I doing this? And it was only for a brief moment that I thought, I'm not doing this. I am going to do this year, and I am not going to do this next year. Again, planning my time better, planning the time where I grow these things in a better way for next year is going to be key for me. And honestly, this is something that I love to do. I mentioned before that starting seeds, potting them up, it's something that I really, really do love to do. And I think that it's going to be amazing, regardless how much work goes into it, regardless how much profit I make out of this sale. I think that it's just going to be something really positive in my life. It's a wrap for today's update. I'm feeling really good about where things are heading, like I said, and I hope that you guys are enjoying watching the journey unfold as much as I am enjoying sharing it with you. If you have any thoughts or questions, or if you have your own experience selling seedlings, or if you purchase a lot from other people that do their own seedling sale, let me know what your experience is or what your experience has been. Give me all the tips. Give me some other things to consider. There is a lot that I have to still do in here. And there is a lot of things that I still have to do on my social media. If you're local to Indianapolis, if you live in the Hamilton County area here in central Indiana, and if you have time to attend the sale the morning of April 26th, weather permitting, because you never know with central Indiana weather, let me know, send me an email, and I will be happy to send you all the information, all of details. Now, I wish that I could be comfortable enough to share my address here with you all watching, but I am not there yet. So send me an email. I will let you know all the details, all of the information so far for the sale, and hopefully I get to meet you at the sale and you get to bring home some of these lovely, lovely plants. Thank you for being here, you guys, and I will see you on the next time.